When I first heard of the Brahma Kumari's Spotlight Values project, a look at what makes us shine, a powerful quote came to mind from Hasfat Abiola, a Nigerian civil rights activist who was once speaking to a gathering of youths, and she urged them, guard your light and protect it. She further went on to expound on both the promise and power of youth. Move your light forward into the world and be fully confident that if we connect light to light to light and join the lights together of 1 billion young people in our world today, it will be enough to set the planet aglow. I tell you this saying among my favorites. First of all, the quote accepts that everyone has light or the spark of divinity in them. Every youth has the capability and the potential to shine. In my mind, someone I work very closely with, Mr. Wayne Chance, comes to mind as someone who had been on the other side of the law and doing so much now for the progress of our society to bring back young men into the mainstream. This refers us all here today to what we are doing. I want to make sure our young participants from the YTC always keep in mind that you have the potential to shine. This saying also says that if we find strength to allow the lights to shine, together we can definitely make this world a better place. This is indeed a powerful message, and it encapsulates the essence of the Spotlight Values sessions. I am therefore extremely honored to join you for the July installment of this admirable program. It is now my pleasure to bring greetings on behalf of the Ministry of the People. The timing of today's program could not be more appropriate as we approach the United Nations International Year of the Youth this year from August 2010 to August 2011. In recognition of the energy, imagination, and initiative which characterizes young people, the United Nations designated this year in an effort to harness all these vibrant qualities towards overcoming the challenges facing humankind. Might I also point out that the People's Partnership Government, under the distinguished Prime Minister, Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa, is composed of a government that really reflects the youth. Indeed, we have 5 ministers who are under the age of 48 years old, which is something you should applaud. I recall also the words of Kofi Annan, a former Secretary General of the UN, who pointed out, young people should be at the forefront of global change and innovation. Empowered, they can be key agents for development and peace. If, however, they are left out of society's margins, all of us will be impoverished. In fact, the youths represent the future of Trinidad and Tobago, and indeed the globe. And it is your mission to play a role in a world that is running out of space, that is running out of water, and that is running out of food. Indeed, the population is expected in the next 3 years, the globe is expected to be faced with severe challenges for food and food shortages. Indeed, you see the impact today of natural disasters and what hurricanes and freak storms are doing to our country and our land. You see what happened to the floods, the global impact of climate change. You have severe challenges to confront. So we need you to help us with all of these challenges. So you have a big role to play in the development and the peace of the world. As I speak to you, every 3 seconds, someone in the world dies of starvation. And therefore, we must all become our brother's keeper to ensure that we have a better world. Given the commitment of the Raj Yoga Center towards the youths who have been marginalized for various reasons, we can see that they have certainly heeded these words. Programs such as these will ensure that young people are included, even the ones who may be ostracized or in the penal system. I seize the opportunity to commend the organizers for putting together this program and the series of events that will take place. This session is particularly valuable as it focuses on the ideal of freedom. Freedom is the most basic of all human rights, and yet throughout history, many individuals have had to struggle to be free. This discussion is therefore as valuable and as timely as it will, given that Nelson Mandela's International Day will be celebrated tomorrow, July 18th. Nelson Mandela is a living example of the power of one man's individual light and the difference one man can make by simply standing up for core values. He is a living embodiment of the power of freedom, given that his life was devoted to freeing his people from all forms of discrimination in a land torn apart by apartheid. Apartheid meaning that the black people had to use one bathroom and the whites had to use other. It was a division in discriminating one group against the next. He was convicted of treason and sabotage in June 1964 and sentenced to life imprisonment. Nelson Mandela spent most of his sentence doing hard labor. Despite getting numerous offers for early release, he refused because of the conditions attached. He therefore sacrificed his own personal freedom for the freedom of all the men and women in South Africa. He famously sums it up by explaining to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. It is therefore fitting that we remember him and pay tribute to his fight for freedom. Freedom, as Mrs. Catherine Ali said, has many dimensions. The panel we just enjoyed certainly demonstrates that. When we think of freedom, we tend to conceive it in terms of our current situation. We generally believe freedom to be the ability to do as you wish, or, in other words, freeness. There is a difference between freedom and freeness. Freedom is being free within a particular domain, by being responsible citizens, by doing the right thing, by emphasizing your good qualities and de-emphasizing your negative qualities, so that you will not be in a system that takes away your freedom. Even the dictionary tells us that freedom is the power or the right to act, speak, or think as one wants without restraint. However, freedom is a layered concept, and it is related to empowerment, since freedom is essentially the quality of being subjugated by nothing or held back by no one. Right here in Trinidad and Tobago, we have had examples of persons who refused to be subjugated, persons who believed in and fought for freedom. History tells us of the determination of that Pandit called Suda Sadhu, who built a temple in the sea when he was denied the freedom to construct one on land. Furthermore, and he did it by taking stones from work every day and building basically a sort of delta until he found a place in the sea where he put up that holy shrine. And when you are out, you must visit that and see what a man's determination can do. Also, Tuba Uriah Buzz Butler, who sacrificed his own personal freedom in the interest of the masses of the oil workers. The underlying thrust of all policies, programs, and projects is to create an environment which enables and empowers our citizens. And by empowerment, we refer to the expansion of your assets, your capabilities of any individual to participate in, negotiate in, or control situations that affect their life. We want you to be able to enjoy a healthy, happy, and productive life. In this vein, the Ministry of the People and Social Development has been radically changing the way programs are devolved in the ministry. In essence, we are equipping our citizens, our most vulnerable citizens, with a blend of relief, support, and empowerment. Young people are given special priority in this ministry, since we affirm the fundamental truth that you are our future. Yet what I want to impress upon you today is that the future starts today. It begins right now. According to Barack Obama, from this time and from this place, we will change the course of history.